Shall we call this one a no reset? See, you flip at the right time, and it just works. I used to struggle with the Veldin 1 flip so much, where I'm like, you know, if I do it from this position and that position, and then I face Ratchet in different directions, and you know, I had two different setups depending on where Ratchet was on the like on that little foot. And I was just overcomplicating things, and then at some point it just didn't work anyway, so like, what did I know? Okay. And then at some point it just kind of clicked. I don't need multiple setups anymore. All I need is to make sure that I flip at the right time, and I'm, you know, after forcing myself to do that flip over and over many times, I've just kind of felt it out, and I know when to flip now. I used to try to time my flip by looking at the bottom of the screen where there's like a leaf that gradually exits the frame. But it's you can only do that if you know exactly where you are on the on that little foot. Otherwise, the timing will be different for when that leaf, you know, hits certain spots, right? But yeah, my goodness, I was struggling. Cut to me struggling right now. Tell me about it, neat. And unfortunately, I beyond timing it properly, I don't really have useful advice for you. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at exactly for when I flip. I'm just kind of feeling it out, right? Where, like, you know, as the camera snaps in, at first the camera is moving or zooming very quickly, and it slows down, right? So that's kind of, I guess, what I'm looking at. Is like I wait until the camera zooms in enough, basically. But I can't really point to a specific thing like, oh, wait until this thing is off screen, or wait until specific thing. I'm just kind of feeling it out. This is ridiculous money, by the way. Over 2,000 already. Just like a few seconds, couple seconds slow maybe, but like who cares? Alright, well, still slow after having to do all that money collection. But I'd prefer to spend time collecting money there than, you know, extra movement on Blarg. Oh, where am I going? Nowhere helpful. Coffee creamer flammable? Oh yes. Very flammable. I remember being on, well, this was with Air Cadets. They called it a field training exercise. It was a camping trip. I remember being on those field training exercises in Cadets, though, where, like, they would give us military rations to eat. And in there was a pack of, like, oh, it wasn't the creamer, it was the coffee whitener, they called it. Like, they can't call it cream, I guess. But basically that, though. And we weren't having coffee or anything, so we would take those packets and just throw them on the fire. And it would cause, like, this big fireball. It was great. Don't do that at home. It's very dangerous. because yes, it's very like the material itself is flammable, and when you get like small particles, that's just a lot of surface area and a lot of room for like oxygen to get in and make sure that the fire gets really big and stuff. And so yeah, you end up with very big fireballs. Definitely don't do that indoors. And I advise against doing it outdoors as well. Alright, dude, this run is kind of slow, but also it's like really like crazy money. Oh my god, it's really slow. Coffee creamer blowtorch, that's your new you know, if you're in a state where you're not allowed, or in a place where you're not allowed to carry a weapon, you just need a lighter and some coffee creamer. Die, please. Sure beats. Yeah, the hairspray, or when I was a teenager, it was the Axe body spray, flamethrower. Oh. Come on. Why are you opening the map? Okay. The camera thought it was gonna be funny there. Ah. Anyway, this is still very slow for various reasons. That's a new one. Yeah, money's fine. I really wanted that 50. I really wanted that 50. Oh well. I didn't realize how my money was so good there. I could have gotten it with the extras here. Well, Rilgar here, doesn't matter. The body spray flamethrower. Lighter. Oh no, in the locker room. No, that's no good. That's no good. Not in the locker room. See, we at least had the decency to do it outdoors. And like, you know, burn leaves and stuff. Yeah, missing that cycle, but that's okay. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't kind of like that I find annoying in this category is how tight the early game bolt route is. Don't do it. Okay. How do you fly like that? Those are called infinite long jumps. Basically, well, so I guess the first thing to understand is this game is very generous when it comes to buttons that are supposed to be pressed at the same time not being pressed at the same time, right? You know, for example, if you want to do a high jump, you crouch with R1, and then you press X to jump, right? And you get a high jump. If you want to get a side flip or a back flip, you do the exact same thing. You crouch with R1, and then you're pressing X to jump at the same time as pressing a direction to do a side flip or a back flip. But you don't have to be like frame perfect when you press those buttons at the same time, right? So what you can do is press X to jump, and then there's like a pretty big leeway for you to press a side input. But during that leeway, like the high jump has started, and then you press side, and it just cancels that high jump and turns it into a side flip, right? And we can take advantage of that for movement. So what you can do is you start a long jump, for example, by, you know, you're running, and then you're pressing R1 and X while running to do a long jump. I don't like this money. Let me actually get these. So you do a long jump, and then like a split second after you start that long jump, you input a side input, and it cancels that long jump, and it turns it into like a forward side flip, basically. Like a side flip while you're still moving forward. One sec, I gotta lock in. It's gonna gold again. Can't complain about that. Look at that. Not quite as much as last run, of course. But anyway, where was I? So like you can start a long jump and then cancel that long jump with a side input. And then you can also cancel that side input with another long jump by pressing R1 again or R2 again. And you can actually do that infinitely as long as Ratchet is still on the ground. It'll let you keep jumping infinitely like that. Now, the thing is, jumping makes you gain height. So to actually do that on flat ground is like it's TAS only, because you'd need to flutter between R1 and R2 like 30 times a second or something, like every other frame basically. But when you're over certain surfaces, for example, the mud on Umbris, or another one is that dark water on Rilgar, when you're over top of certain surfaces like that, the game will just kind of consider Ratchet to be grounded, and so you can do it. Right? So I'm infinitely chaining together long jumps and side flips. And because the game considers Ratchet to be on the ground the entire time, I can just keep doing it. And the inputs that you need... first, you need to like actually start like with a long jump. So like I'm walking towards the ledge, and when I'm at the ledge, I press R1 and X to do a long jump. And then after that, I'm fluttering between R1 and R2. And with every second input, so like on every R2 press, for example, I'm also pressing a side input. And so I'm pressing like R2 plus side to do a side flip, and then R1 to turn it into a long jump, and then again R1, R2 plus side to turn it back into a side flip, etc., etc. And you just start flying across the map. But you need to do it pretty quickly, and the moment you drop one of those inputs, you just fall. So it can take a lot of practice to master, and I wouldn't say that I've mastered it. No, I'm good enough at it to I'm good enough at it to like do most of the things that I need for a speed run, but I'm not like super consistent with it necessarily. I can't sustain them for a long period of time. Whoop. I'm like out of sync here. That fish just commits suicide. I don't know if y'all saw. It just jumped straight into that exploding box. Yeah, I won't be able to do that anytime soon. No. Like the ones on flat ground, forget it. Like a few people have been able to do them like in very short bursts with no consistency. But yeah, forget about doing that on flat ground. But if you're over top of those surfaces, absolutely, it's a learnable thing. And also, if you're going up a steep slope, then yeah, Ratchet gains height on the jump, but the slope comes up to meet you. So you can also do it on an upward slope. Is he coming? He better be. You jump away as well? No, don't do it, don't do it. Okay, we're fine. No.
We're here.
I don't know why I didn't get a long jump. I just got like a regular old single jump. Oh well. This will lose a bit of time to PB, but that's fine. Maybe... it might be close to 10 seconds, actually. We'll see. In fact, no, hold on. The first half was a little bit faster than PB. So I might just lose a few seconds. We'll see. So many wrenches being wasted. Oh, beautiful bonk at the end. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was almost 10 seconds compared to gold, but only 5 seconds on PB. That's fine. Okay. What I'm doing here, by the way, we call these tiptoes. Basically, on certain sloped surfaces and on certain surfaces that would normally insta-kill you, like this green goop, there's, like, as you approach them, there's actually a small window of, like, a few frames where you can just jump. The game just allows you to jump when you like first touch down. And the window is big enough where if you're comfortable with just mashing quickly, then you can literally just mash the X button and get a jump when you're on that goop. As long as I almost went to Gaspar. Holy. But yeah, as long as you're not like moving the stick forward or back or something, like Ratchet can't be trying to move. Just be neutral on the stick, mash the X button, and you can just make it. God, wouldn't that have been goofy? Yesterday going to Pokey, today I almost went to Gaspar. Are you still not dead? Alright, I'm committed now to killing this guy. This is a bad fight. It's still not dead. It's still not dead. Oh my gosh, horrible fight. We must get ridiculous. It's fine. Yeah, I'm still this best pace. This was surely the run that I just had, so I'm still a little bit behind that. Should I go for it? I should just practice Gemlik Chain, man. I won't. It's like 10 seconds. Less than 15 for sure. I should probably be checking my money before I commit to getting over here, because as long as I've got 1800 coming out of Gemlik, I'm good to go. Yeah, 10 seconds compared to my gold split, so that's fine. How often do I play? Usually a couple times. Well, I stream a couple times a week, and I'm always playing Ratchet when I stream. There might be another day in the week where I decide to pick up and practice or do some offline runs or something. Oh, Jesus, I almost overshot there. Alright, what did I say? Just wait. Perfect. I don't know what the hell that was. I might have just pressed square too early. Like while the PDA was still trying to exit. Holy. Every single day. No, not every day. I think about it most days, though. Oh, come on. These ones. Alright, Alright, now it'll be best pace, though. Because I didn't make that same mistake that I did in the run from earlier tonight. There you go. The PDA is not a wrench. I mean, that's true, of course. And I say this every time, man. We call it wrench only, but it's a bit of a misnomer. It's just wrench only sounds better than calling it no weapons. Right? Because that's all it really is. You know, you're still allowed everything in the items screen or the gadgets screen. You're still allowed to use anything like a turret or a ship that's like within the level itself. The only thing you're not allowed to use is the things in the weapons screen from the pause menu. But calling it no weapons doesn't have the same ring to it as calling it wrench only, right? Or we like to say that, no, it's made from tiny wrenches. As you point out, neat. Yeah, I didn't think so. Totally necessary there. Alright. Bro, stop it. Oh. This is so slow. Should still be best pace, but slowed. Yeah. Best pace by 3 seconds. Why not? Very good. We're just gonna switch to these. No, this one. The genie? No. Honestly, you gotta watch Atapi. Atapi is... Oh gosh, why am I going so far left? Atapi is the best speedrunner of this game currently, maybe ever. He's able to pull off some wild stuff, and just generally has better movement than I do. You know, everything is just that little bit cleaner. The only thing that I do better than everyone else in this game is this fight wrench only. Oh, Lord. Really? No, dude. Alright, fuck that Doombot in particular, I guess. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Okay. I will say another thing that I've pointed out before, where it feels like when I get to this fight. Okay, I'm just gonna let the bomb kill all these things. A lot of times it feels like it takes me a little bit to kind of really get into it, so the first phase doesn't feel great a lot. Okay, these mines are really getting on my nerves, though. Oh, fuck, I said it. Right, the first phase never feels great. It always feels like, you know, I should be doing better or whatever it is. Until I really start getting into the groove of things. Right now, though, oh my god, it really feels bad. And just like all these mines are exactly in the wrong position right now. See, this mine phase is great. Okay, never mind. Was that 2 damage or 3? Either way, that's unacceptable for phase 1. I gotta smarten up. It was 2 damage. I went just a little bit too far. Maybe something I don't pay enough attention to, specifically with the mine phases, is that, and I know, I've always known this, where like, if a mine spawns, and then it hits Ratchet before reaching like its destination on the deplanetizer, it'll just fizzle. Like, it blows up without dealing damage. And I don't take enough advantage of that. Where like I'm trying too hard to deal damage, where it might even be more important to just stay close to Drek so that all the mines fizzle, and that'll make all the subsequent phases easier, because check this out, almost no mines ended up on the ground there. So if he had given me missiles or doombots afterwards, I wouldn't have had to navigate all those mines. They wouldn't be there. So maybe that's something that I gotta try to pay attention to. Oh shit. Okay, one more hit. Good. That phase 2 felt way better than phase 1, but I don't know, I haven't been looking at the timer, so you guys let me know. Yeah, the first 2 phases overall felt like decent. Not amazing, but they're fine. It's all about the RNG now. I shouldn't say all about the RNG. I do need to execute still. Okay. First time I watched this fight, this is insane. Oh man, it's I was about to say you're in for a treat, but that's not true at all. This fight is painful. Wrench only. It's 10 minutes long minimum, and that's if you get really good luck and play well, which I'm not doing right now. Like, that's really bad. The fact that I didn't deal any damage during a bombs phase. Like, that is the time to deal damage, is when he's throwing bombs. It's the easiest and most consistent, it gives you the easiest and most consistent method of dealing damage. And fastest. shit. I thought I'd be able to just jump and avoid it. Darn. What's this, the second time he's left? And we're only halfway into the phase? It's not great. Remember, the average like number of times that I expect him to leave the arena in phase 3 specifically is like 3, maybe 4. But of course I don't want average, I'm looking for lucky. Because if I get an average fight, and the whole thing takes me like 12 minutes, then that's not going to be a PB. Or at least it's not going to be a sub 40. One more hit. Alright, so now all of a sudden I can say that was a good phase 3 because he didn't leave that extra time. Okay. Well, you know, what can you do? Listen, if he leaves the arena once more only in this phase, I can sub 40. But the probability of that happening is very slim. It's very slim because he does not give mines in this phase. And so for him to, like, you need to win that the 2/3 chance, right? Like right now it's bombs. The only thing he can give me after this is Doombot's missiles or leaving the arena. Right now it's missiles. The only thing he can give me after this is bombs, Doombots, or leaving the arena. Oh my gosh. So you have to get exceptionally lucky for him to just never roll that 1 in 3 the entire time. Right now I'm getting the luck. My execution is not the greatest, but it's alright. Ah, shoot. I like killing these Doombots just because they cause lag. Yeah. I have to get exceptionally lucky at this point. And play very well if I want to sub 40. Not impossible. Never mind. Sub 40 is dead now. But PB is very much not. I can still get a 40 flat here. Even if he leaves once more. Well, no, not if he leaves once more. Or at least that'd be very tough. Ah, shit, no, that's my fault. Yeah, see, I don't know, like, there's no use getting frustrated, because this is what the fights are usually going to look like. He's just going to keep leaving when I think I'm on pace. Alright, the ideal pattern is for him to just constantly switch between missiles and bombs. Okay, and I also need to, you know, actually play properly. Oh, nice, I get under him. Four more? Ah, shit. Oh, I actually dealt damage there. 2 more hits, maybe? Yep, 1 more. Don't leave. That's it. Hey, it's a 40 flat. Nice. Beautiful. So yeah, overall, decent fight. He just left a lot. I lost count of how many times he left the arena. We're getting close, though. We're getting close. Thank you for the GGs.
Do you have a problem with unwanted hair?
Yes.